This radio is powered by Streamline, the superior internet radio hosting service that provides our SOCAN license coverage. Visit streamline.com for more. Like confetti in a windstorm.
Welcome to Story to Screen here on KPEO World Community Radio, where we're rocking the film world each week on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can go online, download the app, and listen in weekly with new guests and music, or catch the replay on wearestarfish.org. This is Story to Screen, and I'm your host, Erik Krefeld. Let's dive in. On the boulevard, I'm not turning back. It's my parade. Hey everybody, this is Erik here at Story to Screen. We've got a great night for you tonight. Tonight we've got Heather Fraley with us, and we've got her here, so we're excited to talk to her. Heather, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Awesome. Why don't you tell our audience a little bit about just who you are, what your background is, the kind of things that you're delved into, and things you're working on currently, even.
Okay, perfect. Well, I am mainly an actress, but I'm also a business partner on two different film productions, Fear Fame Film Productions and Shaver Fraley Film Productions. I also direct, do stunt work, I write, I do photography, I do everything film related, and I'm going on what is this, January will officially be my 2-year mark of being in film.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, you've obviously wrapped your arms around pretty much everything in the film production area. I want to, let's talk about directing a little, because, being a female director, that's still kind of a new thing. There haven't traditionally been as many female directors as there have been men. You want to take a stab at why you think that is, or what it's like being a female director? If it's, how's your experience in
that? I don't know why that is. I'll go with that. Maybe more females prefer acting. I don't know. Or maybe they just weren't, given the opportunities. Maybe it's a society thing. I can't be the judge of that. But my experience is my first time directing ever was on my short film called White Poison. And it was entered into the OIF Film Challenge. And I actually got 10 nominations and 1 award. And it's currently in another film festival called T-Buff, which is the Tampa Bay Underground Film Festival. And that's going to be showing tomorrow, and it's up for a nomination as well. So that was my first time directing. I also have been directing since then. I did another short film for another challenge called Hinders. That also is an award-winning film. So I'm very lucky that some of the films that, 2 of the films so far that I've directed are award winners. So that's amazing. It's still hard to believe.
Congrats.
Thank you. As far as the experience goes, both films I directed and was an actress in. So
wow.
It's a lot of work. I think that if you're going to direct, you should probably just direct. And if you're going to act, you should just act.
Amen.
Taking on both roles. Afterwards, you're going to sleep for like 3 days straight. You're going to be so exhausted.
Yeah, that's really schizophrenic, because I don't know if people don't really understand that there's a mindset to both, and they couldn't be more different. As the actor, you're in character and you're portraying someone that you're not, and so you have to feel, walk, talk, sleep, eat, like that person, not you.
Exactly. You have to turn it on, like off and on like a switch, and then be like, okay,
yeah.
I'll be right back. Then jump behind the camera, make sure everything's good, make sure everybody's where they're supposed to be, and then jump back over here.
And there is a little bit of a character to a director too. I feel like, I feel like, you put on a director hat when you step into that space, and you go, okay, I need to embody this right now. And because I do it too, where like I'll flip sometimes between DP and direct, or, and it's like very different spaces, and in a very different ways that I talk to people, depending on which space I'm in too. So
Exactly. It's because,
I,
when you're a director or even an assistant director, you have to, assistant director, you have to be kind of the firm one on set.
yeah,
You have to, it's like, okay, well, Heather as your friend for some of the actors, then you know me as my character, and then you know me having to tell you, what to do. So I have
right,
to step up and do all of those 100%. And it
absolutely.
is kind of like it feels bipolar or schizophrenia at
I
some
was
point.
just gonna say schizophrenic. Yes, like
Yeah,
totally schizophrenic. Absolutely. It's a strange experience. And yet I always encourage every actor I've ever met. I always encourage them to, even if it's just a kid's thing or if it's just something fun as a hobby, like go direct something one time, and go be the DP one time on something, because you'll start to see your role as an actor a whole different way. And
absolutely.
same true with all of it. As a DP, go stand be. I did it. I did it one time where I got in front of the camera and made an announcement, and I'm like, oh God, this is like horrible. Like, why do people do this for a living? Like,
That's so
uh,
funny. Yeah,
it made me.
you find out really quick where you fit and where your strong points are.
Yeah,
But I do recommend, highly recommend picking one or the other for each
yeah,
film, not doing it all. Not
yeah,
that, I mean, the films came out great. I'm very, very lucky. I had a very strong team, and a lot of support and a lot of help, but just so you can, focus a lot more on just one thing at once. I
sure,
recommend not directing and acting.
sure. And it's just really hard too. I mean, it's so much work. And you're right, it does. It requires an incredibly strong team, because you have to know that like there's somebody that's got your back when you have to step out of one space, that somebody else is going to step into that space temporarily for you and watch. Like, is somebody making sure that you've got the right angle on that, because now all of a sudden you're not directing that angle for you. So
Exactly. It's a lot of trust and a
yeah,
good team. And then,
absolutely.
going and playing it takes longer because you have to play everything back and make sure it comes out the
Mm,
way how you wanted it. You have to, check it out yourself.
sure. So do you find yourself using a lot of the same people repeatedly just because you build a rapport with them, or do you tend to, grab new people here and there just to get a fresh feel on things? What's your style?
I do both. I love meeting new people. I love getting new fresh faces, seeing, especially people that are coming in brand new or people that have moved into my location from elsewhere. Um, as well, I do have a good solid team that I can always depend on, but I do like to expand that.
Awesome.
And so I mean, so I don't use, I'll use the same production team for the most part because I am partners on two different film productions. And I have, obviously people that I trust and know to work the specific equipment to, it runs more smooth since we all know each other and we know how we do things. But as far as the actors and casting goes, I just look for the person that's best fit for that role. So
Nice.
it's not based off of just, who I know or who I've worked with. It's whoever is best for that role, new, old, whoever.
Nice. All right. Well, we're going to take a break in just a minute, listen to some music. Can you throw out some ways that people can find you, get in touch with you? And if you're the kind of, director that, wants people randomly, hitting you up with, um, reels or resumes or anything like that, let them know. And, just let them know how to find you, and, the appropriate way to find you, if you will.
Absolutely. Did you want me to do that now or
Yeah,
after the?
yeah. Go ahead. Rock it out.
Okay, perfect. So, you can find me on IMDb. You can just search my name, Heather Fraley, Fraley. A lot of my information comes up there. I'm also on Facebook under Heather Fraley. Instagram, I'm Heather Fraley underscore official. And TikTok, I'm Heather Fraley one. All of those I'm always on and always doing casting calls and all of that. Fear Fame Film Productions and fearfame.com, basically. You could go there and you could get all of our information. Basically, if you just Google either my name, Heather Fraley, or Shaver Fraley Productions or Fear of Fame Productions, you can find a way to reach and get a hold of us. And I don't mind being reached out to. I get reached out to a lot by lots of people, people that are just wanting, some advice, people that have never acted before or done film, or they're writing a script and they want an opinion. I don't mind being reached out to. I might not be able to get back to everybody promptly, or sometimes messages go into like the Facebook message request or spam, and I won't see them for quite a few months. But when I do see them, I do try to get back to everybody.
Awesome. All right. And we're gonna, so after the show, whatever you don't catch, you'll be able to go to Story to Screen. So it'll be wearestarfish.org/, Story to Screen. You'll be able to go there. You'll be able to pick up the replay of the episode. It'll stay up there forever. And we'll list as much links as things like that on there that we can, so that it's easy to find people. So with that, we're going to run over. We'll take a station identification break, and we're going to listen to some music, and then we will be back.
This radio is powered by Streamlion, the superior internet radio hosting service that provides our SOCAN license coverage. Visit streamlion.com for more.
Hey there, changemakers. Imagine a world where every small act creates a ripple of impact. At wearestarfish.org, we're turning dreams of a better tomorrow into reality. Join our global community of starfish, where every person like you is a catalyst for positive change. Whether it's empowering education, environmental stewardship, or supporting local communities, we believe in the power of every individual to make a difference. Visit wearestarfish.org today and discover how you can be a part of the wave of change. Wearestarfish.org, because each one matters.
I wanna rip the Band-Aid off real quick and just let everybody know. So, up until this point, I have not brought in a We Are Starfish member yet. So Don Juan is our first one. So I want to make sure everybody knows that up until now, this has all been guests that are not a part of the inside of We Are Starfish. So today, special day. We've got Heather as the filmmaker, and we've got Don Juan as our musician. And so, part of what we do in this show is we talk a little bit about filmmakers, we talk a little bit about music, and we talk about how we put all that together to help build opportunities for young people through We Are Starfish. So Don is actually one of our We Are Starfish people. He's part of the inside through his own organization called Dreams Gather. So why don't you tell everybody a little bit about you, who you are, and what you do, my friend?
Yes, sir. Well, let's start off. I'll give you guys, other than my stage name, my name is Juan. Everybody calls me Juan. But outside of that, I am a part of We Are Starfish due to the impact that Erik has made on my life and many others' lives around me. It just made me get into doing what I feel the best way of doing it is helping people, is being able to give somebody some type of step or a push that they need. And I've always needed that in my life. I've always had that in my life, where someone was there to give me that extra push, to where I started music when I was only in third grade, all the way up until when I got in high school. I learned music technology from Barrett Alexander. I call him the Great, because basically he was the one that put the fire up under me and said, hey, check this out, see what this is about, do something different. Everybody else is doing this, but go over here and do this. And once he put that in me and I saw that next level of what it could be and where it could become, I just grabbed hands on it, and music became just like my best friend. So therefore, I was allowed to let my music flow through my actions, through the people I help, through mentoring, through teaching, just so many different ways and avenues, to the point where it led me owning my own studio, being a part of a whole team of people where we created a home-based studio, reaching out to local artists, teaching young kids, teaching teenagers how to actually express themselves through a musical outlet, and then changing the whole perspective of how they see the world around them. Because most people don't even understand that music is not just, the music you hear on the radio, the music that you hear coming from your phone or your iPhone or whatever the case may be. It's actually the vibrations and sounds that you hear around you every day. When you wake up in the morning, you hear the birds chirping, you hear the wind blowing, you hear these things go in sync with each other. And that's the music, where they say music to my ears, as they say. So for for me, I've always felt like that was one of the biggest expressions I've had in my life. Just trying to find the best words to say it, because it's so much I could say about just music itself.
Yeah.
Other than that,
Man, that's good stuff. Hey, let's talk a little bit about like your actual music, like the music that you create and have created and are creating and create every day. Like talk to me about. I know we've got a couple of Juan's songs. We've got Demons, we've got Recall, Sunrise, and Unlimited. And I know in a few minutes we're gonna take a little identification break and we're gonna listen to some of your music. We're gonna start out with Demons because I think that one's interesting. And you know, I part of what we talk a lot about in our show, and even through We Are Starfish, is just that we're all living here, and in here there are a lot of things that happen every day that are demons that we're all fighting. It's all
right,
stuff that hits us, you know, at different points in our lives, and either we have people in our lives that help to hold us up and keep us strong and pull us back from the brink,
right.
or we
See,
don't. That's what we try to be, is that for we try to help be that for other people. So let's talk a little bit about Demons before we listen to it.
well, for me, music, the journey of music myself, I can say has been one of the hardest journeys of my life, but that's because I know it's something I truly want to do. One thing I learned very young is I don't know if many people on here are religious or not, but I do believe in God. So when God gives you certain type of purpose and things in your life, there's always going to be something that's trying to stop it or trying to push you or trying to get you out of a certain way, whatever the case may be. But you got to just keep going. You got to keep driving. You got to stay focused. Behind that, I've seen that like there are demons that come with these things that you do. There are people that are like, they have it on them. You have people that are focused on doing the wrong things. You have people that live their lives solely to be evil. Sometimes hey, whatever you do, that's what you do. I don't judge you, but you just have to be wary and be careful of who you are and what you want to do and do things out of moderation. So I feel like when I created the song Demons, I was going through a period of time where I realized that, especially when I heard the sample and the sound and then creating the sounds in the background behind it, I wanted to write a song that was expressing to people how I felt about the things I'm seeing, how I felt about the things that I'm coming into contact with. And once I got done making it, I was like, oh no, I just got to let this be and let whoever else hear it. And me as a producer, that's a lot of times the thing that I do is I hear something, I want to do it myself, and then I'm like, nah, this will be better for this person or someone else, or I want to hear what your take is on it, because I've actually given all I have from my emotions, my experience into the beat itself. And that's where a lot of times I have my own music that I record as well, but my instrumentals are like my biggest piece to my music itself. So yeah.
Nice. All right. Now you're an actual like physical musician as well as being an electronic musician.
Oh,
Correct?
yes, sir. Definitely. Yes, sir. I play the drums. I've been playing the drums since I was in third grade. Like I said previously, well, I've been doing music since third grade, but I played the drums since young, learned and read music since middle school, and have been reading and writing music myself of my own once I left high school and once I created my own brand itself. So, yep.
Dig it. And now you've got a studio. So before we get too far into the show, one of the other things I like to do is get you to drop information so these people know how to
Oh yeah,
find you.
definitely.
Information about your studio, information about how to find you, all that good stuff. So give them how to find you. Give them all the details.
Yes, sir. Well, you can find me at DONWVN on Instagram. I'm mainly on Instagram, and then I'm on Facebook. It's DONWVN on Facebook as well. And then also my company Dreams Gather. It's on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. You can find us mainly everywhere. Pinterest. You just search us up, we'll come up. We have a website as well, dreamsgather.com. You can go on there and get a lot of our social medias. You can buy merch from us. We do a lot of different events that are centered around We Are Starfish, or even our own events outside of We Are Starfish as well. So it's different ways to reach us. Also at that, I have my personal like page with my group of people that I own the studio with. It's called the Sound Lounge, and you can you spell that DASOND. Oh wait, no, SONUND. I'm spelling it wrong, getting tongue twisted. DASOUNDLOUNGE in the Sound Lounge, not the THE, but DA in Sound Lounge. So that's our collective, and where we record people in the area. We help people all around the Stone Mountain area in Atlanta and also in Snellville. We do podcasts, we do recordings, we do just basic songwriting, mixing and mastering, and then also video work. We have a green screen where we do editing as well, and just a little bit of photography and videography. So
dig it. All right. And we're gonna come back and talk a little bit about that, because I've got some challenge for you. I really want to see how we can create some new opportunities here in the Atlanta area for some young people that maybe don't have that same. Now, I know I grew up in a school that had a music program. Obviously, you were also introduced into music in a very young age. Not everybody gets that anymore, and it's it's one of the things that concerns me, is that people aren't getting poetry and literature and painting and music, and they're not getting those things early on in school. And so when we get back, we're going to listen to Recall, because I want to make sure we get in that one too. So when we come back from listening, that's going to be something I want to talk about a little bit, is how we can start to create those opportunities for kids, maybe right there in the Sound Lounge, through Dreams Gather, with We Are Starfish, just partnering together more on that kind of stuff and making that kind of stuff happen. So
yes, sir, definitely.
All that said, we are going to be back in a few minutes. We're going to listen to another song here called Recall from my friend Juan, and I'll talk a little bit about that in just a minute.
There are some demons that I have been hiding from you. Something's been missing. If I'm being honest, I should tell you the truth. Oh, I've been full, I've been wide, I've been low, I've been high. Now I'm asking for your forgiveness, 'cause this time things will be different. I think you won't.
All right, guys. We're here back again with Story to Screen. I'm your host, Erik Krefeld, and I've got Heather Fraley on the line. We've been talking about who she is, what she's done, what she's doing, how to get in touch with her, all that good stuff. And, you know, from what you guys have already heard, this is a lady that, you know, has her hands in a lot of stuff. She's a director, she's an actress, an actor. She's you know, she's been on camera, behind the camera, in front of the camera. The one thing that she is not is a musician. And as you guys know, part of the deal with this show is that we try to put together filmmakers and musicians for specific purposes. One is that, and I'm sure Heather, you can agree that every movie, every production you will ever do is going to need music somehow.
Oh, absolutely.
Even if it's
It's
just Foley. I mean,
it's one of the most important things in a film.
yeah, exactly. So you know, at some point in time, you need audio to support the video that you create. And so that said, I won't ask you directly, you know, what you're doing right now. But you know, if you aren't currently working with a lot of composers to create, you know, compositions and original compositions to underscore all of your films, part of what the idea here is that you know, the musicians that are going to be part of this show and part of each episode of the show, they're all going into a network. And so that network you're now a part of, and because you're a part of that network and they're a part of the network, at any point in time you're going to have access to all of these musicians that have been on this show. They're going to get radio play, which is great for them because as it stands with this being on the radio, radio means that they're going to get royalties for their original music. And so Heather, you know, thank you to you because, you know, you being on this show provides that opportunity for these musicians to also be getting royalties for their music, which also means that, you know, when you are looking to do things where you need these guys, that's one of the things you can throw out there too and help them understand is that, hey, you know, I've been on Story to Screen. And because of that, you know, if you want to bring a song into my show, we're going to make sure it gets played on KPEO. It'll get sent back over through Story to Screen over to KPEO radio where it'll get played. And because it gets played, it gets, you know, it pays royalties. So
Right. No, absolutely. That's great. That's a great thing that you do. And I appreciate that. And I'm sure they do as well.
Yeah. And so like, you know, the idea is, yeah, whether it's, you know, sometimes it's just, you need some kind of ambient music going on in the background while somebody's walking down an alleyway, or, sometimes you want like a full-on song to happen in them. Sometimes we do these little like mosaic moments in a film where we want like some cool music with lyrics and vocals and the whole 9 yards.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. There's, you know, like I said, it's so important to have music, a composer, as well as, like you said, the background noises.
yeah, and
It makes
then
the film.
it does. I challenge people all the time. Go ahead and just like, you know, just turn the picture off and just listen to a movie and see if you can really follow the story just by listening to the music, and then do the reverse. Turn the audio off, just watch the picture. See if you get the same story either way. Because
Yeah.
most times, like, you know, it's very much missing something. And there's a fun thing we do a lot of times with kids when we teach some film stuff with kids. We'll take one of their favorite movies and we'll throw a completely different soundtrack underneath it and just watch it. like,
Oh,
okay,
gosh.
how was that?
I can see their faces now.
Right? It's fun because they're just like, wow, they're so reactionary. So it's cool. And so, you know, speaking of the kids and stuff like that, the other thing that we do here is through this meeting and networking with people, what we hope to do is, you know, on different occasions when you have something coming up, that you can reach out to us and just say, hey, Erik, you know, we're getting ready to film this, that, and the other in this area. So we work with kids aging out of the foster care system. We work with a lot of young people that just for whatever reason, you know, whether they come from single parent homes, they came from homes that they just, you know, the money wasn't there for them to get the leg up in the creative arts that, you know, they might have gotten had money just been there or the opportunities just been there. So we work with
Right.
a lot of families and kids in that concept and try to help provide opportunities for them. So, you know, at some point in time, if you've got a spot open, that you'd let a young person come in and be, you know, your B-roll camera person, or take behind the scene photos for you, or just something
I
cool.
absolutely love this. I didn't know you did that,
Yeah.
and now that I do, like, wow. That's huge, and that is something that I would definitely use and recommend to everybody I know, because it's so important, especially, you know, for children to get, you know, into to be able to express and be creative. And those who, you know, are less fortunate, I guess I would say, they need it more than anybody else. It's gonna keep them with goals and in a positive direction, opposed to going, you know, in other directions. So absolutely, I'm all for that. Thank you very much for doing that.
Yeah, no, thank you. Cause it's, you know, it's you guys that provide those opportunities for us to reach out. And so I always just encourage you guys, stay in touch with us, shoot us emails, texts, whatever. When you've got something coming up, you've got a spot that, you know, you think it would be a great little spot for, you know, a behind the scenes camera person, or, you know, just any little, just something that the kids can do to get used to what it's like to be on set, hold a camera, tell a story through video, tell a story through a photo, interviews. Like, you know, those are fun too. Like, a
Right.
lot of times we'll send a kid in, you know, some kids like doing the actual interview. They like being the interviewer. Some kids want to hold the camera for the interview, or it just, you know,
Exactly. See, like, my daughter, she's 8, and she just directed and wrote and acted in her first film. So
awesome.
when you say that, it's speaking right to my soul, because I got to watch her, you know, I was her AD, because she
Yeah,
had, you know, she's 8 and she had to
yeah,
be
yeah.
in front of the screen a lot.
Awesome.
But it was a kids film, so all the kids coming for this, and it was from her point of view. And so what you're saying is definitely a reminder, because we filmed this just a couple of weeks ago. So it's just,
That's
I
cool.
love it. That's
Good.
amazing.
Well, yeah, and it's just, you know, you're right. It's just so important for people to have a constructive outlet for the things they experience here in this life. And you know, the young people that are here right now, they're growing up in very difficult times, as have a lot of us throughout the years. I know, you know, I found my peace and my solace in a lot of different creative realms, through music, through writing, um, through photography, through videography. I don't know. I don't know what you know, I probably would have like burned things or something. If, like, honestly, I mean, like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm a guy, man. Like
Well, especially people that are creative, they need a place to put that
yes,
energy and that love and that profession,
yeah, yeah,
or
man.
they're gonna do like what you said,
Yeah,
burn
there's just
things.
that energy's got to go somewhere, man. So if we just give
Yeah.
kids a constructive place for it, I think amazing things can happen. So we will definitely reach out to you, and, you know, just keep that line of communication open, so that
Well, absolutely.
if you need music, you know where to come, and we will make sure we tap you into that whole network of musicians that would love to get, you know, that some of their music into your film and productions. And then obviously, yeah, if you have anything that comes up, definitely let us know, so we can open up those opportunities for young people.
I will absolutely do that. Thank you.
Hey there, changemakers. Imagine a world where every small act creates a ripple of impact. At wearestarfish.org, we're turning dreams of a better tomorrow into reality. Join our global community of starfish, where every person like you is a catalyst for positive change. Whether it's empowering education, environmental stewardship, or supporting local communities, we believe in the power of every individual to make a difference. Visit wearestarfish.org today and discover how you can be a part of the wave of change. Wearestarfish.org, because each one matters.
This radio is powered by Streamlion, the superior internet radio hosting service that provides our SOCAN license coverage. Visit streamlion.com for more.
right, thanks again for joining us back here. I got my friend Juan, and we've been listening to Demons and Recall. We got a little bit of discussion in about Demons. Tell me a little bit about Recall. Where did that one come from?
Recall was more so like I like electronic music a lot. Recall came from like one night I was kind of just watching Total Recall, and I like chase scenes. Like me as a person, I don't know if everybody likes those or when you see a movie, but I love the car chase scenes. I love when someone is like they hop in a vehicle and they got to dodge around vehicles and do different things. And I just wanted to create like the chase scene feeling of like, all right, he's gonna get away. It's suspenseful. It's intense. Let's keep it going. Let's keep the heart rate going and keep it pumped. And that's one of the biggest things I love about electronic music is because you can go from being very chill, very soft and ominous, all the way to like loud and rave and hard and just fast and quick. But you can also find different like areas where it meshes. So for me, seeing like a car chase scene was one of the best things that basically created that emotion for me to create that. So that's why I called it Recall. Yep, Total Recall made that happen.
Nice. The sounds that you have to work with when you're working with digital music, where do you are those sounds that you buy and you download? Are those sounds that you create? Where do those come from?
I'm very big on creating my own sounds and then playing my own sounds because it's very easy to buy sounds or buy like a sample pack and different things, which is cool. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But when it comes down to certain things, I find it fun really to just find the instrument. What I like to buy is either the digital instrument or get an actual instrument that sounds what I need it to sound and then record it myself and then go into the actual software and tweak it to whatever actual pitch or correction that I want or just whatever wavelength I want it to be, because you could change the sound from just being a simple clap to making it sound like a big bass. It's just so many things you can do with sound itself that I believe a lot of people don't really explore as much as they should because they just want to get that quick like overload and quick release of understand, like making something like, all right, I made this, boom, this is a nice beat. Cool. You have songs that, you can make quick in a minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, even 20 minutes. But then you have songs that take like probably 2-3 years to make or a couple months to make. You have to sit back and marinate on it. You're like, hold on, this is good, but it can be better. Or it sounds so great, but it can be stronger. And there's just so many different things change your perspective. And that's where I love finding and creating my own sounds, because sometimes I'll hear something from literally in the world itself and I'll record it. Like when my son was born, there was a machine by my fiance where it was just going off like beep, boop, beep, boop. And I was like, I like that. And then just whip out the phone and just like record and then go back and then load it in my computer and just use it. And it's as simple as that.
Nice. And I think some people would argue that the songs that you write, you've been writing them your whole life, because it's every little moment, every detail that all leads up to the moment that you actually create something. Your whole experience has brought you to right there, right then, to that spot to actually create it. So
that's definitely.
It's one of the things I like about the creative process is it's a little pieces of everything we've done and everywhere we've been and everyone we've known. And what about Sunrise? That one sounds like it will be I don't know. I mean, I just think of like being, this magnificent morning. So tell me a little bit about Sunrise.
Sunrise was more so a beat that like I created because of the like I just wanted to like I have a hip hop background. I have a background of hip hop music and 90s boom bap and different things like that. So I tend to like not shy away from it, but I don't do it as often as I should. So when I do come to like create music that sounds more of a like feel like that, I feel like it's like a fresh start. So therefore I called it Sunrise, because like I felt like I had just woken up to a whole idea of like, man, I've been missing this. I haven't been making it like this. I've been just sitting back and just going and not actually feeling the music or feeling. And you have times like that as an artist, which I I feel is getting into the habit of consistency. You just keep going, rather than after being consistent, you take a moment, you're like, all right, dang, am I really putting the love that I used to have in the beginning, not the dedication that I have now? Like, the love that you have is something that's just, that's what makes you give it like a soft touch and make you baby it, and then next thing you know, you have a masterpiece. I don't think that any artist hasn't had a moment like that where you had to put the love into something for it to be a masterpiece. Because if you don't, then it's just there. And I have songs that are just there and they're cool, they sound good, but I know they're not like the ones that I've had that I've actually put time into, or that I just do freely. And I can do it just because I love it and do it freely, where I'm like, okay, that was easy. And then it becomes a hit or it becomes something good. And I'm like, wow, that didn't take that much. That just took me really just focusing on what I love and making it. And that's where Sunrise became what it is, because it was new. It was like Sunrise to me. And the way it sounds in the beginning, I like the beginning of how I started it and how I just have it like an open, like, feel. Yeah.
Take that. Yeah, well, and you know, Heather Fraley is the filmmaker that we have on this episode, and we were listening to, you know, a lot of information, you know, and discussion back and forth with her earlier. And you know, Heather, she is in Orlando, Florida. So you know, throw this out to you too. Is you know, have you gotten your music into any film yet? Have you gotten it into TV shows? And what's your you have a plan of action at all for that? Or you know, the goal here is to start putting people like you guys together, so that Heather as a filmmaker and you as a musician and all the previous filmmakers we've had on this show and all of the previous and the ones for the future, like this will all become a network of you guys being able to reach back to each other and go, hey man, I've got some great music, I want to upload it. Your music's going to go out in KPEO radio now after this, and or during this now because of this. So you know, it's
no, I definitely I could say for me, the plan of action has been really getting in contact with different music directors, also putting my music out there, and like you said, doing things like this so that people can get to know who I am and what I do and why I do it. A lot of times when I was younger, I had a lot of fear, I can say, because for me, I'm not really a big person on like being out front and being the front guy. A lot of times, like, I don't mind it. It's cool. I'm cool with it. It doesn't scare me as much now that I'm older. But when I was younger, like kid in high school and stuff, I wouldn't have an idea of where I wanted to go. But now I have the idea because of I know what my music sounds like for me, and I know what I want my music to sound like. Even like you said, for helping somebody, different filmmakers, I know what I can make it for them. I know I can take what they're telling me from their head, from their mind, what they're looking for the sound, for the feel, whatever the case may be, and then pull that and create that. And I love that about music, because when you truly understand music, it's not about what you necessarily feel inside. It's about what you feel outside of you, what you're hearing outside of you. And a lot of people don't share that or try to be real upon that note. But as far as films and getting into that, I would love to work with filmmakers more often. It hasn't been something that has come across to me yet, but when it does, I'm open for it. I'm definitely am.
Yeah. And again, just if you can real quick, just roll out, like, give me some idea of what to look for in this new year from you.
Oh, okay. So, I actually have a lot coming up this year. I was a lead. God, my voice is leaving. Okay. I was a lead in 2 different feature films. Those were my first feature films. One of them is going to be coming out next Christmas. It's finished, but it didn't make it the deadline for this Christmas. So it's called Dimming Lights. It'll be out next Christmas. Another one is called The Truth About Monsters, which is about trafficking. That should come out this spring. I'm excited about those 2 films. So those are ones that are going to be released. Now, ones that I'm going to be working on, so my short film Hinders that I wrote and directed, I'm turning it into a feature film. So I'm going to be making that a feature film this year. Awesome. And with Fear Fame Productions, we also have our own film festival. And last year, or this year, I'm sorry, was our first year, October 22nd, or was it the 23rd? I can't recall. One of those days was the pre-party. But we are on year 2 now of our film festival. It's a huge festival we have in Florida, an in-person one, and it's international and local as well. So we're going to be focusing a lot on that, which will be next September. Also, so we are accepting submissions for that on Film Freeway. And we're also going to be growing with Fear of Fame. We have 2 features that we're going to be beginning. We have the storylines for them. The scripts are almost written, and then we're going to start casting for that. So I have 2 features that will be being released that I'm acting in, and then I have 3 features that are going to be created by the production that one of the productions I'm business partners on for next year, and then everything else that I just get booked for here and there.
Awesome. Very cool. Very cool. Looking forward to all that good stuff. And I'll probably even reach out to you with the film festivals to make sure that we promote that through our network, so that all the other filmmakers that we talk to, if they want to throw stuff into your film festival, that would be awesome.
Oh, we'd love that. Yeah, it's the Fear Fame Film Festival.
Okay.
And you can find it on Film Freeway. That's
Awesome.
where they can submit. We are open for submissions.
Awesome. Well, so, getting back to the studio that you have there, you have your music that you create. But what are some opportunities? And this is going to be a loaded question, of course. What are some opportunities you can think of, whether it's there at the Sound Lounge or other things, other ways that you can think of, where we can start to create opportunities for young people in your area, that whether as we bring them into the Sound Lounge, or maybe it's just a young budding musician that you bring in and you record a sound from them to use in something you create, and then of course they get credit for that. Or what are some ways you can think of that we can start just really helping kids to embrace part of what you what you bring to the table, that they can
honest truth, I've kind of seen where the process of creation comes from and where it molds to becoming a actual way of life. My son, for instance, he is very, very intelligent, to the point where he's seen me play the drums multiple times, our drum set at home. He's seen me do things on it, to where I haven't yet got to the point where I'm like, hey, I'm gonna show you. I've gotten to show him certain things every now and then, but he's actually taken upon himself to mimic the actions of what I was doing, and not only mimic them to just like a kid's degree of like, oh, he's just going wild, but mimic them to a degree where he's actually on beat, where he's actually catching what I was doing. He was actually trying to copy what I was doing. And where I learned that is the ages between 3 or 2, for instance, if you want to start that early, but 3 necessarily, from 3 to about 10 years old, a child should be exposed to music no matter who they are. Music is I feel one of the best outlets for a child, due to the fact that children love to be loud. They love to run around. They love to break things, and not intentionally, but just because they don't know how to regulate their own power, their own strengths, their own weaknesses, different things like that. So when you're playing music, especially a drummer, for instance, a drummer, you can hit the drum. You won't break the drum. So as you're hitting it, you can be as loud as you want with it. And then now you're giving them that freedom of expressing out that emotion. And then now they can go back to doing what they regularly feel. And that's where I feel like a lot of the problems have come to, especially today in our society, because you have a lot of school systems that don't push the music a curriculum as heavy as they do other curriculums. They don't push music as heavy as they do athletics. They don't get behind these kids to actually win these awards or go to All-State or different things like that, and actually do different band and symphonic band and ensembles, and touching bases deeper than just rap, or deeper than just rock, or deeper than just radio music. Because For instance, movie scores are probably one of the best things that people don't ever come across or understand, but you have people that are groups of bands and some symphonies that are playing these songs, and they're getting residual income for the rest of their lives. And they don't have to go too far to say I am this and I am that. They're doing what they love. They're getting paid for it. They're happy. They're now a part of a project that is going to last and that is now getting recognized on multiple levels. It's a win-win. And you now have, as a child, you can grow up deciding like, hey, I can fall back on that. I can either help another person understand that, or I grow up and it becomes my outlet for everything else I have to deal with in the world. And we don't have many outlets. I feel like with children, the best way to do that and actually to start doing that is like hosting little events or little focus groups where you invite like 10 to 15 kids and you say, hey, you bring whatever instrument you want. We're going to meet at Piedmont Park from 2 to about 4 o'clock. And we're just going to make a circle. And you guys can we can play on beat, we can play together, have 20 minutes of craziness. Everybody play something, let it out. Just, hey, hit your drum, blow your horn, do what you have to do. And then for the next hour to about the next hour, you will have actual instruction where now, hey, let's try to follow the metronome where it's going back and forth, where it's clicking. Let's try to understand what a whole note is. Everybody play a whole note. And no matter what it is, everyone knows a whole note. So you just one hit, boom, you hear it, the whole sound. So it's now controlling where you have someone that can be the conductor, that can be the teacher, that can lead them to teach them and give them the understanding that they need to be musically literate. You don't have to conform. And that's one thing I love about music is don't conform. Once you conform to being what they think it is or who that's when you lose sight of your character, of who you are within music. I don't know how to explain it the best, but I want to say that one person that I've seen recently that has released music that showed everybody I don't have to conform to who you are or what you want was Andre 3000. A part of Outkast. He was a rapper that started from Atlanta, same place I'm from, and literally took his mindset from rapping about all type of stuff and everything to where he's like, all right, you guys want me to drop another rap album? I'm really not gonna do that. I'm going where the wind blew me. And he has a song that's called that. I went where the wind took me, and it's him playing a flute through several different songs. There's no words. It's a therapeutic album, but also at the same time, it's an album that is himself, what he wanted to do, his true self. Definitely, yeah. And I believe a lot of kids and people can get there with the help of music. Not only just the help of music, but the proper coaching, proper mentor, and things like that can open those doors.
I'm excited about that, which brings me to your last song that I want to make sure we get in here, called Unlimited. I think that's a great one to, end this session on, as well as just what we've been talking about, that this is all unlimited potential.
Definitely. Man, I kind of like made Unlimited because I love electronic music, I love drum and bass, I love house. One of those just Unlimited for me was just like, I always live my life by this, is when something is taken away, it comes back tenfold. And I've always lived by that understanding and lived by that God is always going to bless you tenfold, sevenfold, or whatever the case may be. And that's because it's unlimited. Everything is unlimited. It's a surplus of it. There's so much of it out there that you don't have to worry. You don't have to trip. You don't have to do this, that, and the third. And then a lot of times too, with electronic music, I love the sounds to where for me, I feel like that beat can play over and over. And for me, over and over and over again, like on loop, and it could just be unlimited. I never get tired of it. I love it every single time I play it and every time it comes on. So yeah, I just hope other people feel the same.
and I love that explanation of the idea of unlimited, because there's only one you, man. There's only one you. You're the only one that can do what you do your way. You don't ever have to fight anybody for any of it, because it's unlimited. Right. and it's all yours, unlimited. I hope everybody really enjoys the music that we have from you today. Tell everybody again real quick, just again, how to reach out, how to find you real quickly.
Definitely. You can find me on Instagram at DONWVN. You can find me on Facebook, DONWVN, and then my company, my business is Dreams Gather. It's on all social platforms.
All right. Well, there you have it.
Thanks for spending some time here at
Heather
Story to
Fraley,
Screen on KPEO
thank
World
you so much for
Community
joining
Radio.
us here on
I'm
Story
your
to
host, Erik
Screen,
Krefeld,
and
we're rocking the
we're
film
looking forward
world
to all the good
every
stuff seeing
Tuesday, 9
from you.
p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Juan, it's been a
You can
pleasure talking
download
to you
the app or
tonight,
listen
and,
live
thank you
or
again.
catch the replay at
We look forward to all the
wearestarfish.org
music
because
and
each
all of
one
the,
matters. Catch
all
you
the
next
stuff
week
that
on
you
Story to
create,
Screen.
so
Keep
thank you
supporting
again.
film and music.
Definitely, man.
It's the
I
story we
appreciate you
tell
for
that
having me.
matters.
So you guys have a blessed night.
This radio is powered by Streamlion, the superior internet radio hosting service that provides our SOCAN license coverage. Visit streamlion.com for more.